Okay, welcome to AP World History. This is an essay writing module for the AP World History DBQ essay. Within this lesson are important notes that you need to write down in a new notebook. There are short quizzes after each module, and the notes will surely come in handy as you take each quiz. Good rule to remember: if a teacher has it up on the board or it's displayed in a presentation, then you should write it down as well. And my suggestion to you is to get a new notebook that is clean and fresh, will only be used for AP World History. This will help you stay organized. While taking notes, please make sure to write the title of the lesson and the slide title to help with organization as well. That way when you go back through your notes, they're all titled, and so finding the information that you need will be easy. Now the DBQ points lesson that follows goes through an overview of the points that can be earned on the AP World History DBQ essay. And each of the points within the DBQ essay will always have a video lesson that goes more in depth with specific examples. And I'll provide examples so you can know and understand and follow along on how to earn these points. And as always, email me with any question that you might have about essay writing or the prerequisite work in general. I am here to help. Okay, so let's start off with looking at an example here. Using the documents provided in your knowledge of world history, analyze the similarities and differences in the civilizations of Mesopotamia and Egypt in the period from 2700 BCE to 1000 BCE. Okay, so your task is to analyze. That's what you're doing. And then what you analyze in this particular prompt, similarities and differences. Okay, some of them might ask for you to analyze the impact of something. Well, the impact is the effect. Or it might ask you to analyze the contributing factors. Those are causes. It might ask you to analyze the actions or the reactions. That's behavior and the decisions. It might ask for you to analyze challenges and motivations. Okay, so it'll ask for you to analyze. It's always your task. Something different. In this particular prompt, we have similarities and differences. Okay? So, the 7 points that you could earn in the DBQ essay start with contextualization. And this describes their broader historical context relevant to the prompt. And in order to earn this point, the response must relate to the topic of the prompt, to broader historical events, developments, or processes that occur before, during, or even continue after the time frame of the question. Excuse me. This point is not awarded for merely a phrase or a reference. It must be specific, detailed information and an explanation of events, developments, or processes. And notice that those are plural, which means you need more than one. So you got to think to yourself, okay, I need to give my reader a setting that demonstrates the time, the place, and specifically the situation that explains how the circumstances and the issues of the prompt developed. So in other words, what happened? What's going on leading up to the prompt? All right, the next point is the thesis. And this is very important. All right, the thesis responds to the prompt with a historically defensible claim that establishes a line of reasoning. This is your argument. That's your thesis. And the requirement in my class is 3 answers. Always 3 answers. It makes for a stronger argument, and that's the point of an essay, right? To establish a line of reasoning for an argument. Now, to earn this point, the thesis must make a claim that responds to the prompt rather than just restating or rephrasing the prompt. Okay? And the thesis must include multiple sentences located in one place, the introduction. Okay, each of your 3 answers should be presented in the thesis with its own statement. Okay, if you present each one individually, it's a stronger argument. And you'll need to develop and support the thesis and recognize and account for historical complexity. You have to develop your argument. You got to make connections. All right, the evidence is worth 3 points. 2 of the points refer to supporting your argument with all 7 documents. Now you have 3 answers, so that means 2 of your documents will be used twice. And yes, that's okay. Obviously, you're going to have to, because I require that you have at least 3 documents support your answer. And if you think about it, you have 3 answers that all answer the same question, so there is a connection. And you get that support from the document, so you can definitely use one document to support 2 answers. And the response must use the content of the documents in a supportive way to the argument, right? You can't just explain what's in the document and expect to get credit for it if there's no relation to it supporting your answer. And my suggestion is doing a HIP analysis, HIPP, historical content, intended audience, purpose, and point of view. And I'll go into more detail for those on the evidence module. All right, and the third point of the evidence category is where you use at least one additional piece of specific historical evidence. And that must be information that's beyond what's in the documents. And it must be relevant to the argument about the prompt. And in order to earn this point, the response must describe the evidence and must use more than just a phrase or a reference. You have to include specific details. And this additional piece of evidence must be different from the evidence that's within the contextualization point. So the context that you develop in your introduction is different than evidence outside of the documents. Okay, there's more evidence out there that supports your answer that's not in the documents, and that's what you're looking for. It must be specific. It must be accurate. Think of the additional ways to further support your thesis. How can you make your argument stronger using historical information that isn't found in the documents that could be included in your essay? And the last 2 points are analysis. Analysis is about explaining how or why your 3 answers in the thesis address the prompt. You must demonstrate a complex understanding of the historical development that's the focus of the prompt, using your evidence to either corroborate, qualify, or modify an argument that addresses the prompt. Analysis is where you explain the nuance of an issue by analyzing multiple variables. You include similarities, differences, continuities, and changes, or multiple causes and effects. And there must be relevant and insightful connections within and across time periods. Your analysis is where you're confirming the validity of an argument by corroborating those multiple perspectives. And it's done so by qualifying or modifying an argument, considering diverse and alternative views or evidence. Right? You have to explain how your answer is an answer or why it's an answer. That's analysis. Okay, so those are the 7 points that you need for your DBQ essay. And basically, everyone starts off with 0, and if it's found within your essay, then you earn that point. So it's all about earning the points, coming up with great sophisticated levels of writing to get that credit. Okay, hope you learned something in this points module, and I'll see you guys for the next one.